𝗏02K BTC and a little bit of blood out there at the moment. The altcoin traders are definitely feeling a bit of rinsage at the moment. Now, we're looking at a short-term bounce and we can see things are slightly moving higher, but is this only a short-term thing? Are we going to get absolutely rinsed? So guys, I'm going to tell you when I think the alts are going to bounce for real. And then we're going to cover so much other shit today. I got a special guest for you as well. We're trading against a bot. He's challenging me against his bot. Okay, we got so much to talk about here. Let's get right into it.
Hi, don't want to fight, but I just wanted to ask you, I hope you haven't invested very heavily in Bitcoin. It looks like it's going down.
It's dark out there. Who was feeling a little bit of lickies today?
I wanted to ask you, I hope you haven't invested very heavily in Bitcoin. It looks like it's going down.
Guys, it was a little bit of a red day. Okay, maybe we're going to get a bounce now. I am still sitting long Fartcoin and long Bonk at the moment. I dropped that in Hackers earlier today. It hit some of our bounce zones that I gave you guys yesterday. So before we jump into everything, hit the like. Smash the like, smash the bell, hit the notification thing. You know what to do. Here's our special guest. There he is. And he's looking ready. He wants to take on the Lord. So we're going to bring him on just now and find out what this is all about. And Mr. 𝗏𝗏𝗍𝗃, hello, sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey.
And Bruce says, we're buying like maniacs here. Guys, short-term bounce, maybe. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing here. But overall, it was a bit of a rough day. Unless you were trading gold with me. What an absolute banger that was. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Carol, go wash your mouth out. What is going on there? Okay, so this is where we are at the moment. And maybe we're going to get rinsed as well. So 𝗬𝗰, I closed my short from yesterday. That long, I got stopped out yesterday. Now I'm long Fartcoin from this morning. I'm long Bonk from this morning. And hopefully the SOL is going to start bouncing. I'm trading these on LBank at the moment. Okay, so if we go into Banter Bubbles, you can see it's all round misery at the moment. And it wasn't a fun day, especially for the leverage guys, especially this little double dip that we have had on these levels. So let's get into BTC and let's just find out what exactly the deal is, because this is actually a lot of chop at the moment and you can be completely forgiven for being absolutely annoyed with the current situation. I mean, look what they've done to us in the space of well, basically, not even in 24 hours, in the space of today. Look at this absolute misery here. And that is not helpful, okay? That is not helpful if you're trying to pick a direction. If you're trying to go short, you're trying to go long, you're getting absolutely smashed around here. Panda says, dead kitty bounce and play meow. It's possible, it's possible, it's possible. I'm feeling those type of vibes. So in terms of BTC, what are we looking at now? So we keep it really simple. We've had a rejection here at 102,800 already today once, okay? That was our 382 bounce zone. Now we're pushing back up into that area, and I've got further resistance with my VWAP coming in lower. So we're going to look at this 102, call it 103K. Okay, that is a big resistance zone for me now. Look out for a wick into that VWAP at 103K. That could be some kind of rejection zone for us. If we get a little bit more power out of BTC, 103,500 and 104,100. Those are making the most sense to me in terms of any bounces today. Now, I'm not feeling overly bullish with the current market situation, especially after this recent sell-off, because now these alts have started tapping on some very interesting levels. Okay, so I'm going to take you through a lot of this today. We got a bumper packed show for you, including a bot strategy that I'm going to be trading against. So we got a lot to look forward to, but just in summary on these altcoins, basically what I'm seeing, they fell over quite fast. They fell over a lot faster than I wanted to see. And that means the 8-hour, 12-hour daily oscillators still need to come lower. And in terms of the lower time frame oscillators, they might be ready to bounce now once again and maybe give us some short-term fake out to the upside and maybe come for some lickies again. Okay, I see Mia says no liquidations for chart hack as well. Mia, I nearly got liquidated last night on that spell. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that spell strategy because it's very important in terms of managing your stop losses as to how we do these things. Okay, so let's get into some of the news here. And who's feeling like this today? And remember what I was saying yesterday, this stuff, that money isn't yours. It's unrealized gains. And unless you're actually taking profits, it's just a story that you have to tell. Dave, I mean, do you take profits or do you list like a round trip, sir? What do you like?
I know. I leave my bots to do everything, mate. Everything.
He's a bot man.
Yes,
okay,
we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out more about this bot man over here. But I mean, look, taking profits is quite a nice thing. But what if it does 10x? That's the question we always ask ourselves. Okay, but in terms of lickies, James, I'm disappointed. We've had a massive sell-off today, and we only $400 million in liquidations in wrecked in the last 24 hours. I mean, genuinely, I'm not even being funny. Like, that feels like rookie numbers.
We should have had more because it was catching everybody both ways multiple times too. This should be higher. Yeah,
yes, I think the data is broken. I don't think this is fair information at the moment. Really, in terms of the chop and what's been going on, I'm surprised this thing isn't at a billy, really. And this is what basically happened today, thanks to me, Master. They're dumping BTC. You get liquidated, we all get liquidated. Okay, so absolute dog show out there. And what added to a little bit of the mess earlier today, we had very good PPI numbers, which some might consider relatively bullish. But now we have seen in the past, this happens time and time again. When they release good data, nothing makes sense anymore. And basically, you go, we're fucked. Sell everything, okay? And that is exactly what happened today in the crypto market. So, I mean, we had a beautiful response from gold today as well, though. That was an absolute banger. But bar chart says total put to call ratio just plunged to its lowest level since December 13. The bulls are back in full force. That's incredible that the bulls are back at the top of the S&P. Now, I mean, maybe they obviously got a much longer term outlook on things, obviously. I mean, we fucking crazy degens trading day to day here, but some of these guys actually take a 5-year view. I mean, bless them for being so boring. But we are still pretty high up on this S&P. So the S&P for me, 6,100, massive resistance there. That is our all-time high, and that is where I am expecting some kind of short opportunity there for us. I'm looking for the divergence print. When we get that, we should be okay. And then we should get some kind of reversal there on that front. That's hopefully going to tie into my Microsoft short as well that I'm busy trying to build at the moment, because I really feel after a pump like this at the time, we're looking for some kind of pullback at some point. Okay, so that is how I'm playing that one at the moment. And then gold, I mean, do I give myself a pat on the back here? Jason was giving me a hard time in the chats yesterday. What happened? And I said, be patient. We're trading a swing. And Jason says we sold the hamster as well. What did he do there today? Well, guys, I mean, congrats to whoever caught the gold trade with me. What an absolute banger. Okay, let's go bullish on gold. Not really good for our altcoins though. You know, gold going up is not necessarily good for our altcoins. Now we finally got what we wanted as well, a reversal print on the 8-hour. And as I showed you guys yesterday, the last 2 occasions where we had the reversal print on the 8-hour, we had a 17% pump and we had a 7% pump on gold. Okay, so maybe we are front running that move now. We're a few percent up already. So I just want to say, you know, if you're doing quite nicely in the gold trade, maybe it's time to take a few profits along the way. I'm going to show you what I have done. And what I've done here is broken gold down into a 15-minute degen chart. Now, this is normally Jason's job in Hackers. He's normally our gold man. But because I was carrying you guys into the swing long, I thought best I give you some areas of interest here on gold on a lower time frame as well. And I've just opened a gold short in this resistance band, and I got a feeling this gold short is going to get rinsed. So I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing at the moment. But in terms of resistance, you can see this area does make a lot of sense to me. 3,200, this type of region, we could be falling over on a lower time frame. Possible divergence playing out here, and then we're looking for this guy to drop a little bit lower. So short-term pullback here. I do believe we are in for a bigger gold move now that we've got that reversal print. So that is looking good. And we're running this one on BTCC at the moment. So you can see my gold long is now printing. We're $760 up, and I've just started a 6 gold short, and you can call that a head short. I am expecting gold to hold a higher low and maybe give us a push one more time and go a little bit higher. Muaz, what's going on there, bro? And we just had a resistance band. I mean, you know, so you can see what I'm doing. We're printing long here. We've got a head short. My view is we printed that bullish print, and now I want to see a higher low. So maybe we are going to go a bit higher. And yes, obviously this Coinbase hack is Cole's fault. We all know that it is most likely Cole's fault. at the moment. So, guys, that is what I've got going on BTCC. Remember, everything I talk about today, including Dave, who you're going to get to meet in a couple of minutes, all his stuff is here in the show description below. Okay, so all you need to do is go take a look. You'll find a lot of his information there for you guys, including all the exchanges and all those things. Okay, let's get into a couple of things. This was the big news today. Coinbase shares fell 4% after company says it expects up to a $400 million hit from a cyber attack. Okay, that obviously, these types of news reports, they tend to cause a bit of havoc. Yes, sir.
You know what's interesting? My wife got a whole bunch of text messages from supposed Coinbase. And she was showing me on her phone yesterday. She said, look at this. I'm getting all these messages from all these just random numbers. She's got the saved Coinbase 2FA whatever number that's on there that will send a message when you're verifying. All these others, the message is identical. If you didn't know or pay attention or save that number, you could think, oh shit, I need to change my password or something. And yeah, there's been tons of it going out.
So I'll tell you what happens. Coinbase bribed, they said cyber criminals bribed overseas support agents to access customer data. Now, it's very easy to bribe overseas customer support agents because they don't operate in dollars. And you start offering them some money and it's a very easy gig. Okay. And maybe Americans don't understand the level of not give a fuck that some of these countries give in terms of justice and all this type of shit. And, you know, it happens all over the world. And I think this call center was actually in Sri Lanka or something like that. And you throw some dollars at those guys, maybe they're going to let a little file cabinet.
You're making $100 a week and you're offered $1,000. Shit.
There's no
Would
justice
you not take
there.
it?
Okay. Okay. So anyway, it is what it is. Okay. So there you go. That's the big news in the market. And we can see Coinbase did fall over. How convenient that once again, a dangerous or a terrible news report comes out when a stock or crypto is sitting at major resistance. Who is shocked by that current situation? And here we are rejecting at our absolute shitcoinery 618. Look at that, bang into the 618 horizontal and a little dip to the downside. So in terms of our long entry for Coinbase, still waiting for lower. 220 is the first zone of interest for me. So we're just going to let that play out. Let's see if it does start drifting back. I do believe if the crypto market carries on bleeding lower over the next couple of days, we should get an entry on Coinbase and we should have some fun and we can get that long on BTCC. Okay. Now, Ali Charts, obviously been watching the show for a while. He says BTC may be due for a brief pullback with the RSI now signaling overbought conditions. Okay, so I have been screaming at you guys for the last couple of days, and I think importantly is this system or this theory is still not out of contention here. An all-time high pump before this thing falls over. For those of you that didn't watch the last two shows, I'm just going to repeat myself briefly one more time. The last time we saw a bearish divergence print on BTC was in the 7th or 6th of December. We had a slight dip to the downside. Then we had a nice pump, 7 or 8% pump on BTC. And the same story. We've printed bearish divergence here on our oscillator. We've had a slight dip today. Maybe if we get an 8% pump, we're going to get that push into all-time highs. So I don't want to take that off the table just yet. Okay, it is a possibility. I mean, it's they've done so much work to bring us here. I find it very strange that they would come and bring us all the way back down before they take us up. I mean, I don't know. What's your view there, sir?
Well, it's not my view, but Mr. Nachel here, his 108K, he loves his Elliott wave. That's his thing. And his Elliott wave schematic is showing him.
Okay, so I was saying to hackers today, we might get a nice wick through there, maybe a short later at about 110. Could be a fun wick to look forward to later on. Okay, so guys, again, let the stuff play out. The main levels for me, as we know, higher time frame, it is bearish. We know 8 hour is bearish, 12 hour is actually bearish. So if we do start losing, you can see I've got a little rising trend there. If we do start dropping, we are going to be looking at this 98, 99K on the daily. Makes a lot of sense to me. A little bit lower down, we've got that 93, 94K zone. Also makes a lot of sense on this chart. Obviously, we're so close to all-time highs. It would be weird, okay, but it might be, it might be BTC as a lone ranger there. Might leave the alts behind. The alts don't print new highs, and then they come and they absolutely rinse us. So lots of scenarios on the table. But what I can tell you right now, short-term bounce at the moment on these alts, and let's see what that does after that. Now, before we get deep into David, okay, and we're gonna look at. I wanted to show you some free alpha. What are you laughing at? What are you boys laughing at?
Nothing. Nothing.
emails. Don't forget, the daily candle comes out every single day, and this is free alpha for you guys. Today was the Hackers Day, and my whole team in Hackers dropped their trade setups and all these things in the daily candle. It's a free subscription, guys. It comes into your email for you. Link in the show description. It's literally free alpha for you. Setups, all these types of things that you guys will find in there. Okay. Wow. Look at this. What is going on here? Juice. Okay. Let's see. We're back in business. The trades are green again. Look at Fartcoin. Yes. Okay. We're going. Hackers, did you hang on? That's what I need to know. And okay, let's go, because we were definitely at this type of level earlier today. And I actually think I was talking about this. It was a bounce. Now I'll cut it off for me on Bonk as well. So lots to cover here. Let's hit the most important one. And this was on my tile today that I want to cover for you guys. This is BTC dominance. Now, we've got a very interesting situation with dominance, and we need to obviously manage ourselves and play this accordingly to make sure that we don't get rinsed trying to find the absolute banger entries. And dominance can be a really nice guide for us. And just a reminder where we are, this is the 12 hour. We had a beautiful uptrend in dominance, rinsing all the altcoins. Then we've had this beautiful dump, and we've had that nice pump that you have seen out of these alts over the last couple of weeks. Now, we are busy with a bearish retest. So what's happened here? We've lost the rising trend. Now we are pushing up a bearish retest, and we're looking for that nice retest and then a big strong move lower down. And this is what takes me into that situation where I'm telling you higher time frame might want to send these alts down one more level. So the important levels for me before we get a strong alts move, anything from 63.3%. That is zone number one. You can see they are fighting at resistance here at the moment. And then our next big one is the 50-day MA. And I'd love to see a retest of the 50-day MA. So a loss of the 50 and then a nice retest, little kiss over there, and then a big push to the downside. And that level for me, guys, is going to be about 63.6%. So all you need to do is keep your eyes on this dominance chart. If you're feeling under pressure on the altcoins, look on dominance, try and identify where you're going to get a big rejection in this dominance, and that is obviously going to guide you with those alts and where you can get some kind of strong bounce. Jason says Whiff and Bonk is flying. Guys, we hung on hard there on some of those levels. So let's actually just jump into them quickly. And okay, let's look at two of these bouncing shit coins. Okay, so I'm looking at Bonk and Fartcoin quickly. Then we're bringing in Sol and ETH to cover. Then we're bringing in Dave, and then we're going to look at the rest of the shit coin casino out there. Okay, and let's just cover everybody here. Make sure you guys got a little bit of juice here. So let's see what we got. Okay, so 𝗬𝗰, okay, that's not what I wanted to show you, but I closed my 𝗬𝗰 short. You can see why. Okay, this is on a support level. Let's get out Bonk. And this was Bonk from yesterday. Now, I gave you guys this level, so hopefully some of you that were watching the show yesterday had the kahunas or the kahunas to buy some Bonk on this level. And we had two dips in this zone today. Okay, so why was this an interesting zone? Quantum reactor, order block, VWAP, horizontal, 0.5 fib, reversal signs on the oscillators as well. There were lots of reasons why we could potentially get some kind of move there. And now we've got a bullish divergence print on the 2 hour as well for Bonk. So again, it doesn't mean this is now the low or the bottom is in. We could easily come back and get rinsed one more time. They could come and round trip everybody. So what I want to say to you guys again, be super careful with your position sizing. Be careful with how you are playing this at the moment. And remember, the higher time frame, things like 8 hour, still want to go a little bit lower. Okay, so Bonk support, guys, 0.0207. Okay, 2078. That is your low. You can see your lows there, and that is going to be your support level to watch. And if we do come back for probably a third time, I'd start getting a little bit cautious. Okay, and then in terms of Fartcoin, this one was a sweater. Okay, a proper sweater, and you can see it's bounced off the quantum reactor here, pushing up, and we had a nice zone in this area. This was our possible short-term bounce zone, and they played a couple of games with us earlier today. We had a couple of little bounces there, and then one more wick down. And that is also one of the messages I dropped to hackers today. I said, look for fun and games here. There could be another wick before they send this thing up. And this is a typical market maker game. They get you guys, on your level. They make you panic out, and then they send it up again. Okay, and Mia's trading CAS. Yeah, I saw Jay was talking about CAS as well, and Dylan's beard wants some Fartcat. Well, Popcat is it's a semi-big bounce zone at the moment as well. Okay, so guys, you can see I'm long Fartcoin and Bonk at the moment. Let's see if it continues to do some printage. Okay, that would be nice. And let's get into the big dogs here. Let's go ETH. And let's just talk about this thing. So ETH was a little bit of a disappointment today, and it's starting to generate a picture for me like we could be getting something a little bit more bearish in the market as a whole with this ETH situation. And the story for me is, and we're seeing this on a lot of shitcoins as well, a drop down here, then maybe a lower high, and then suddenly we got something very ugly here forming on ETH. So that is a story for another day. But in terms of big levels that I am currently watching for ETH, 2,410 is still the big one for me. That is our super degen level. Okay, that's our macro fib pool, 2,410. That is making a lot of sense to me. So right now you can see we are just in a typical downtrend, and this is our 8 hour. So we could easily just chop around here and then have another bounce at that 2,410 level on ETH. So watch that one. If we do get a nice strong bounce there, best we print a new high pretty quickly. Otherwise, we're going to get that kind of look to it, and then things could get a little bit ugly for us. Okay, so that is the big one you want to be watching on ETH. And just want to highlight again the 8 hour. This is what I was saying earlier. Lots of bearish divergence on altcoins on the 8. It is potentially still want to come down, reset down there. So we could be in for a little bit more drama over the next couple of days, in spite of some short-term bounces that you might be seeing in the market at the moment. Okay, and then let's see SOL. SOL just pulled 7.9 million in daily revenue. It's highest since Feb. Okay, so SOL keeps on grinding. And what has it done here for us? SOL on the 2 hour, what did it hit? One of our first big zones from the levels yesterday. I hope some of you guys took some action on the zone. Look at that. VWAP in play, 382, horizontal, little bounce there, 168 for SOL. And now we have printed a 2 hour bullish divergence. And I repeat myself again, this could just simply be a little downtrend for us here on SOL. I wouldn't get too overly excited at the moment. Let's see what they give us. But short-term bounce, we could just be doing this for the next couple of days before we get a bigger move. Just a reminder where we are on the higher time frame. I just want to show you the 8 hour. You can see 8 hour bearish. Look at that. That 8 hour wants to turn down, and they are pushing this one a little bit lower. So let's see where this 8 hour starts resetting, and then we'll have a clearer picture as to where we are in the market. So right now, again, I remind you guys, I cannot stress this enough. Be very careful with leverage, not massive sizing here. Short-term bounce on the table. If it turns into something bigger later on, you can grow your position, you can add, you can do all those fun things. Right now, just preserve capital, okay, until we get these 8 hour resets and things like that. Could be a lot more exciting. Okay, Vensis, any suggestions for a trading bot? Well, I may be not the person to ask, but I might have somebody that may know one or two things about bots. Okay, and let's find out if he indeed does. David Tech, hey. Welcome to the den. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. How you going?
Yeah, good to have you here. So, guys, you may or may not have seen David on Run Show, and David is an exceptional bot trader. I don't know if you guys have seen his channel. I'm going to give you that link now. I'm going to show you some stuff. But the man's a little bit of a machine, and he's now got a school and all these things going on as part of Banter. So, David, tell me, give me the TLDR. What's going down with you, and what's the elevator pitch in your world at the moment?
Okay. Well, once again, thanks for having me on the show, mate. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, so I would absolutely love to be a trader like yourself. Watching the charts as they flew past just there a couple of seconds ago, I just could never keep up as a trader myself. Too much emotion and all of that. So that's where I decided to start building bots myself. I've been a coder since the age of like 11 and decided to start building strategies and bots to backtest trading strategies on TradingView. And thanks to the community and AI, I've started to build some strategies that are actually working. We have around 800 of them that you can choose from, and build a well-diversified portfolio of bots. And that's where I'm hopefully coming into Crypto Banter and going to be teaching everybody how to use that so that they can come away from their screens and hopefully become a bot trader too.
Well, I mean, this is what's going to happen here. So Uncle has put us to a challenge. He's basically said to me, Sheldon, Kyle, Fefe, he's basically said, okay, you guys are going to trade against one of David Tech's bots, okay? And we've all loaded our trading accounts, and we are ready to fight the bots. Okay, so we're gonna put it to the test. So my question here is, we got 30 days to do this. I want to see what type of bot strategy he's coming at me with. Okay, when I get an understanding of what he's gonna hit me with, then I'm gonna hit him back. Okay, with a different strategy, and I'm gonna give you guys my plan. So Dave, what is your strategy for this little prompt that we're gonna be running here?
Share my screen here. So I've got couple of bots I'm going to be trading. First of all, I've got the $5,000. I think you can see on my screen, ready to go. Thanks to Ran to start trading. We've filled up the account with 5K, and I'm going to be trading a couple of bots from the David Tech websites. They're all indicator-based bots. So the idea is that we're putting statistics or probabilities on our sides using a system. They're all based on a couple of rules. We've got trend following strategies. This one here is based on the liquidity spectrum indicator, which gives us the trend direction. It's a trend following strategy. So hopefully the trend will be with us throughout this month. And we're going to be using the MACD-L, so the leading MACD, to confirm the entries. So all of the strategies, they work on a couple of rules. The first one is for finding the trend direction. Then we have two confirmation indicators, a volume and a volatility indicator. Most of the time it's the ADX. And then we have a stop loss, an indicator, the ATR, for example, for saying stop losses and take profits. So this is a back test, and on the actual website you can see the green is the back test, so historical data. And then when it goes pink, this is actual live trading to make sure that the actual bot works on real markets and it's just not.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a trend-based strategy. And how many trades per day is it taking? What is it up to?
Okay, so this one's taken 238 trades. So this is over the full period of the backtesting all the way to 2021. So it's not going to be enough for me to beat you, not in the slightest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to diversify my portfolio. I'm going to have to be a bit more risky than I am normally because I'm a bit of a conservative trader, but I'm going to be a little bit more risky, use a little bit more leverage. Obviously, be careful with leverage, it's just a challenge.
Gonna burn some fingers there. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
And I'm going to add, currently I have on here, as you can see, I have 26 bots running on this one challenge that I did, which was a 10K challenge. So I'm going to have to find around 20 bots that are trend following bots to try and beat you guys.
Okay, so you're going to hit us with a combination of trend trading bots. Okay, so our advantage is if the trend shifts and changes, you're going to get rinsed. Okay, so
I'm going to get
that advantage is being a human, number one. Trading a bot, you actually need to project manage your bots a little bit, I would guess, because if the trend changes, you need to take action and stop your bots, I would guess. Okay, so our human advantage is that we can be able to swing a little bit both ways. Okay, cool. And how many trades are you intending to take in the 30 days?
As many as I possibly can.
Oh, like a lot.
It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. It's not the way that I normally trade, but I'm definitely up for the challenge.
Like for me, some of the best moves you get are once a week trades. Okay, so I think the safest play for me is my strategy is I'm going to trade some kind of 4-hour reversal strategy here. Okay, so I'm going to wait very patiently, and I'm going to trade reversals on my hot zones, and I might get 2 or 3 in 4 weeks. I might get 8. We'll have to see how it goes. In terms of a token, probably going to be like Sol or Sui, I think, or one of those that I'm going to pay attention to. So hackers, I'll obviously update you guys in the Discord with which one I'm going to choose, and then I'll get involved with that, and I'll tell you if it's my bot challenge trade. Okay, Dave, I'm going to use a 4-hour reversal strategy. I think that's the easiest for me, and we'll manage that. So my account is also locked and loaded. There it is. I'm doing this one on WeX. Okay, there's my 5 clips. Okay, ready to go. And we're going to take this on the minute. I've got a nice 4-hour reversal in a good area. We're going to give it a go. Okay, and we're going to play some leverage games. And if it plays out accordingly, well, then we'll do well. Okay, and if not, well, we're going to get rinsed. And Dylan's beard says fart bot. I think he wants a Fartcoin bot. I'm sure there must be one floating around. Okay, guys, and then David, he needs some boost here on his Twitter. Those rookie numbers, bro. You got 1 million on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm on YouTube doing a bit, but not, got to work a little bit harder on that.
Gazillion on YouTube. Okay, so follow David on Twitter here, David.tech. Okay, 5,900. Let's bump up those numbers there. Okay, and that's that. And then there's the school. So if you want to learn about this, tell us briefly the school. How long is it? What's the situation?
So it's quite short. It's a couple, about 13, 14 lessons, and they're about 3 minutes long each lesson. We just go through things like how to set up bots, and then we go all the way through to the last workshop where we're actually I'm going to be teaching how to fish for yourself and actually find strategies, connect them over to your exchange, and the most importantly is to get away from the screens, get back to family life, and actually not spend too long on the computers. Most importantly, we'll get our first bot up and running in the first day. So,
Okay, nice. So day one, you'll be trading bots with Dave. Okay, cool. Dave, lovely to have you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.
Go sign up and check it out. Go and make sure you're following him. And Kimmy says, go Dylan, go. Well, look, we're going to give it our best shot. Okay, these bots don't know how to fuck with leverage the way we can fuck with leverage though. Okay, cool. Okay, David, thank you, sir. I'm going to carry on with my shitcoins. You're welcome to hang out, obviously, but thank you for hanging. Okay, see you later. Okay, guys, let's get into some of these altcoins. Let's break down where we are in the current situation. Okay, so we've covered ETH. We've covered 𝗀. Let's look at this. Oh, this was important. So last night we spoke about a spell short. Now, this is a very important thing. And I showed you that DJ and Dave had dropped a spell short setup in Chart Hackers. Now, it's very important, obviously, in Chart Hackers to follow whatever that trader is saying. And he did an update later on that day. But a key lesson again, and you guys hear me repeat this over and over again to you guys, always look for candle closes if you can. And we had a situation here on Spell where the wick high or the stop zone was 7213, and ideally you want to look for a candle close on the time frame that you are trading it. And in this example, David is trading it on the 4-hour time frame, and you can see we didn't close a candle over the stop zone. Okay, so that stop, if you are able to hold it, is obviously not relevant until you get a candle close above that region. Okay, so you can see based on his update and everything, that gave us an opportunity to relook at this thing, and then you can see that Spell is now finally actually heading lower. And if it carries on like this, I was actually saying to the guys earlier, if it carries on losing that level, it looks like it could shit the bed pretty quickly, and then we could get a nice move there out of Spell. Okay, so that thing is underway at the moment, and then look, hopefully we are going to get some kind of short-term bounce in the market, but obviously not too high for Spell to come and take me out again. Now, I just want to show you DJ and Dave's channel here because he did update this very nicely last night. So any hackers that follow DJ and Dave, here it is. Okay, there's his Spell update that he dropped. He said an urgent update. He was tracking it. And remember, David's a very busy guy. Like, he doesn't sit in front of the screen all day. He charts occasionally, a couple of times a week. Then he sets up his big trades, and then he uses a different type of strategy with regards to stops and things like that. And it's quite a nice way to learn, a couple of things from these guys. So make sure you are in hackers. He's obviously cooking at the moment. There it is. And this thing has finally turned nice and, green for him. And he's absolutely printing now. I saw he had quite a big position there. Okay. So that is going well for him. Okay. Right, guys, let's go. Hyperliquid, I want to bring this to your attention again. Hyperliquid made 15.8 million in 7-day revenue. This thing is absolutely cooking. And if we are going to get a dump in the market, which, I really want a second bite at this thing, I'm still waiting for a Hyperliquid entry. And you can see at the moment they are holding this puppy up really well. And I'm really just looking for that one massive red day where we get that big sell-off. And I'm looking for buyers on this hype. 22.5 and 20. Those are looking like some proper big zones there for me if we do get that opportunity. And the way this thing is being held up, if it does drop on a big red day, I don't think it's going to stay down very long. So make sure alarms are on. Make sure you are ready in these types of zones to react. This is one of the best performers at the moment. And we've seen the rest of the market falling over. Hyperliquid looking nice and strong. 22.5 looks good to me. A little bit lower, we've got 20. Making a lot of sense at the moment. So guys, get that one on your charts. This one is on my hit list. The minute we get an opportunity there, I'm going to be looking at that. And Luke, I've got Brett for you, boss, coming in hot. And then PopCat is the most sold token by Smart Money in the last 24 hours. Here we go again. It's just a roller coaster between Fartcoin and PopCat nonstop. And let's take a look where we are. Okay, so poppies. Here we go. Okay, so interesting thing here about Popcat. This is the macro pool that I've got here. The macro pool was from the extreme lows. That was the 9th of April to the highs, and that was our 200-day moving average, okay? And now we've got the macro 382 pool, and we haven't hit that yet. So something tells me we still need to come back and visit that. I wouldn't get too excited just yet. That 44 does make a lot of sense to me for Popcat for a visit later on. But in terms of lower time frames, let me show you this thing. If you pull that fib from those lows up there, bang, look at that, straight on a 618. Okay, basic stuff there. Bang onto the 618, bang onto the horizontals there as well. And now Popcat is turning green. But again, guys, it's got to start printing new highs before you can get overly bullish on this thing. And in terms of current reversals, we've got a 4-hour reversal at the moment. Let's see how that plays out. You could easily have a situation where this thing comes back, then does some kind of higher low, and then you might find that price dip back into that type of zone at 44. Okay, so 443, that is the hot zone number one, and then 406 is the next one of interest here for me. That ties in with a little micro 786 there, a local 786, and those horizontals. Okay, so those are the big ones there. In terms of Popcat, where can this thing reject? Let's just highlight some areas here for you guys. Okay, nice little move here. Watch out at 53. There, watch out at 57. And watch out at 60. Okay, those are the zones you want to pay attention to now. If Popcat starts pushing higher, just be careful in those areas, guys. Now, there's something else that I want to talk to you about today. And we've heard a lot about crypto capital markets. Now, there's been a little bit of a hoo-ha over the last couple of weeks about these things. And I thought, let's let the dust settle a little bit. And for those of you that don't know about these things, there is a bit of a narrative going on with this at the moment. So I just wanted to cover some of this for you guys and just put a couple on your radar. Okay, so now this is obviously the latest hot thing that everybody is interested in. Is it a fad? How long is it going to last? You know, it's anybody's question right now. But in terms of what is it? Well, you can read about this from our boy Yash. This is Ash, okay, so at our boy Yash. And he gives you a little bit of info about what is going on, what are internet capital markets, all these types of things. So if you want to give it a read and understand why everybody is so excited about this thing, you can take a look here. And Moa says, we trade farts. We trade goats, next rats. Well, you might be trading something like Launchcoin or all this other dog shit that's going to be coming out on some of these other things. And front runners dropped some ICM narratives here for us as well. Here's two clear paths for them. They've given you safe and degen tokens that you can watch. So Jupiter, you know, we've covered that a lot. We obviously cover Sol a lot. And today, one of the main tokens is Launchcoin, okay? So it's tied to the Believe app. It lets you launch a token by tagging at Launchcoin and naming it, okay? But now, what's everyone going to do with these tokens? Like, is this just another ridiculous fad floating around out there at the moment? Yes, sir.
This sure seems to me like just to revamp pump.fun since that's died down a bit. Yes. This is where everyone's going to go lose their money next.
Yes, correct.
You can make a lot, but you can get wrecked quickly.
Correct. Welcome to Rinstown. Okay, that's why you don't see these things featured that often. Okay, so I'm highlighting this here so you guys know about it. Easy says, internet capital markets in their current state are not good. I like a lot of the ideas, but truthfully, they are trading opportunities for attention right now. There's zero reason for these tokens to be held unless these apps can figure out a sync or a use case for said tokens. Okay, so guys, again, just be careful. Shiny new object, blah, blah, blah. You know the story, okay? Don't get caught up in this shit.
It's just like the AI agents when they first came out. They were insane. Made a ton of money, but don't try and build a long-term bag of this shit at the moment anyway. If it turns into something great, then so be it. But for now, trade the shit out of it.
Okay, so just like front runners have said, you want to play a safe play, you go for like Dupe, okay? You play Sol because we know there's activity on the ecosystem, they're making money, things are going on. And Dupe is obviously one of the ones that I've been talking about to you guys for the last couple of days. And we're still waiting for that big 8-hour reset. Now, wasn't this pleasant the other day, James, when I said, guys, let's not trade this thing up here. Let's wait for this thing to drop lower down, okay? Everyone was drinking the Kool-Aid, and now we've dropped nice and low here, 0.48. That is my big zone. Just like Popcat, it feels to me like this thing needs to come down and have a double dip. Okay, so here we are. Our 8-hour hasn't reset just yet, but in terms of what happened the last time we printed an 8-hour divergence, we had quite a nice move out of this thing. So I'm expecting it anything from 0.48 down to 0.4456. 0.56. Okay, that's the 50-day MA as well for us there. Okay, so there we go. Needs to reset there at the bottom, but dupe looking good, guys. I think we are getting to that point where we could get some big bounce out of this at some stage. So keep your eyes on this one. And then the other one for me is this launch coin at the moment. And Luke, what's happening, sir? Why is he saying cheers? Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Hopefully you got some of the bangers. Now, launch coin. Okay, yeah, this is it. Okay, so in terms of what's going on here, I wouldn't rush into this thing just yet. I'm just glancing at this on the 1 hour, and you can see it's only recently now taken off, okay, in the last couple of days. So I think, you know, perhaps there's room for a little bit of downside. So for me, watch this trend. Let's see if this thing falls over. There's a buy zone for me. 0.15 makes a little bit of sense to me down there. Okay, so 0.151, that type of area, you know, maybe we're going to get some kind of bounce. Okay, so just be careful with this thing at the moment. Obviously, it can rip, it can go higher, but right now to me looks a bit bearish. If it starts losing that trend, well, then we're all right, and look for a bounce at that 151. Okay, so that is my current view on those internet capital markets. Okay, as and when these things develop, like, I mean, you know, we caught onto Fartcoin, we trade AR16Z every now and again. We'll take a couple of these, but they must sort themselves out first, and they must stop rinsing everybody. Dan says, are you still in virtuals? Yes, sir, I am still in virtuals. We're going to give you the level right now. And just to update where we are. Okay, so Sol's running nicely. That's bounced. Fartcoin's good, and Bonk is okay for now. Now, guys, if you went through the pain of sweating through these trades and now they're green again, tighten up your stops, okay? Don't come and get a round trip now for absolutely nothing. Okay, let's talk 𝗬𝗰, and this is a great example, guys, to tell you where the altcoin market could reject in the near future, okay, as in the next couple of hours. So you can see what's going on. I highlighted this early in the week. 𝗬𝗰, head and shoulders, okay, bang. Now we are bouncing off our first bounce zone, okay? I said dip into the zone could be a strong bounce, and now we've got our first reversal. So what I want to highlight for you guys is your first big danger zone. That is going to be 3.87, 3.88. That is going to be big resistance now on 𝗬𝗰. Be careful here. If we start blowing higher and reclaiming this 3.88, there's maybe a case for a secondary long trade on this thing. But right now, I would be careful. 3.88, that is danger for me. You most likely, unless something miraculous changes in the market over the next couple of hours, you most likely see something like this, a little pump up there, rejection, retest, and then bang, maybe come and end us and reset that 8 hour. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at the moment, 3.88. If you start holding support above 3.88, well, then we got a different story. So we'll have to see how it goes. And if you start holding support up there, we can look for some kind of break or something like that, and then try and ride that one higher up. Okay, so just be patient now. 𝗬𝗰, current support you can use 3.65. I wouldn't jump in now. It's quite a big risk. Okay, so let's just measure this here. It's 3.8% risk. It's pretty high considering that it could reject it right here at 3.88. Okay, so just be careful. Support 3.64, and then a reasonable zone 3.56, and then the big one for me is lower down. 3.34, that type of region makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, so play safe on this guy. And Justin says, same and Brett, looking for the next handbag. Okay, let's see. Okay, Bonk, no changes here. We did cover that just now. So Bonk, you've got your levels, possible reversal there. I would watch out Bonk, guys. Look at that 200-day MA danger. And then obviously this wick fill up here. Okay, so just be careful in those areas there on Bonk. Fartcoin we've got, okay, nice little ripper there. We've covered that one. Guys, if Fartcoin keeps running, just a reminder, danger there. 1.45, big zone. A little bit lower, look at that undercarriage. 1.37, 1.45. Danger for me there on Fartcoin. Then in terms of Link, we've hit our VWAP, we've hit our 382, so we've hit our first bounce zone. So you can't be faulted for jumping into a little bit of Link here at 16.1. This was the level that I gave you guys yesterday. So what we have so far is a reaction on Link, but you can see this 4 hour needs to reset. Okay, we're not there yet. It's a little bit frustrating. Let's look at the 12, for example. Let's see where we are on this guy. And that 12 has only just started its journey down. Okay, a little bit concerning on some of the altcoins that they might want to come lower down. Let's see the 8. And okay, so the 8 is also making its way down, might get divergence, all these types of things. So I don't want to say 15 is off the table. 15 is still on the table for me on this Link. Okay, watch out there. 16.1. If this region fails, 15, guys. That is going to be your backup plan there on Link. Then Brett. Also, interesting. Short-term, 2-hour bullish divergence. Look at that. Blue dot print, divergence print, green dot, all sorts of things going on. And who's talking about undercarriages here? And then we've got a reaction on our quantum reactor as well. Okay, so there's nice horizontal, bang, 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 and 0.069. Okay, that was our zone that I gave you guys yesterday. Now, danger again for you guys on Brett. Look at that undercarriage again, 73, and then you're most likely looking at trend, give or take, in that region there. So you're looking at 78. Okay, now remember, guys, all these charts will be in Chart Hackers for you directly after the show. So don't panic. It will all be there waiting for you guys. And Jason's still trying to send Brett to $10. Bro, can you hurry up? Maybe just market buy it, bro, and then it can start moving. Okay, so Brett, you've got your levels. What I think could potentially happen if we start looking at 4-hour time frames, let's just analyze where we are. We've got that divergence. Let's see. I want to see this 8. Yeah, we're getting close, guys. My only concern at the moment for Brett, okay, is that we might get a wick into the 633. I don't want to write that off. And the reason being, it's also a 618, and we do have some horizontal in that zone. So if they are going to sweat us, print some kind of divergence play on this oscillator or something, you might find a situation where they wick you onto 633. I don't want to write that off just yet. Okay, so anybody trading Brett right now, first line of support, 6646, and then look out. Lower down, 633 is a possible wick zone as well. Some kind of stop hunt or something like that. This is disgusting. I've missed this thing twice. James is just nodding. Why are you nodding at me? Okay, so guys.
Because I missed it too. Just agreeing.
Remember what I said yesterday? I said, let's not, if we start losing levels, okay? You don't need to keep trading it here because there's a good chance it's coming down to that 200-day MA. And look, they gave us a front run today. Then they dipped it in again. I mean, and look at this thing. Bang into that 200-day
I was watching it. Was almost there. I said, okay, if it comes down just a little bit more, I'm in. And then it took off. What an asshole.
So irritating. Okay, so Peppy, danger zone right now, guys. So yeah, it's a danger zone to trade Peppy right now. You are at resistance. Let's highlight this thing here quickly. And let's just see what is in our way currently. Okay, so let's just pull these fibs out. Bang, bang. Okay, so you can see right now we are at a major resistance for Peppy. If we start blowing through, it's going to be very similar to Sui, but right now this is a rejection zone. So 0.1375, this is danger up to 139. Danger, danger, danger. Okay, if we start, Dylan gold short rinse, is gold pumping again? No, am I going to get rinsed on my short here? Jeez, this long is still going. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, so Peppy, guys, 139 down to 1375. That is big danger zone. If for some reason Peppy blows through this area, bang, okay, and you get support there, then we can start talking again about a next move to higher levels. But just like Sui, you are at resistance now. Just be super careful in these types of zones. Don't go longing, into these resistance zones. The best ones are obviously, like I said before, when we drop into these areas. Look at that banger. Look at that banger there. Look at that banger. Okay, dropping into all these zones here. That is where we get beautiful reversals. And then virtual, look, squeaky bum time on this thing. Feels like it might want to go lower. That's not fun. James is nodding again. I don't know if I like it when James noddles at me. Okay, so virtual, yeah, putting pressure again, guys, on some horizontal. I was obviously looking for the what do we call it? The Hail Mary. I wanted to pass this thing to 2.43 and 2.63. So if that is still on the cards, we need to reclaim this range very quickly, which we are trying to do at the moment, and we need to start grinding higher. Okay, so your support that you can use, 1.79 for virtual, makes a lot of sense to me right now. And the backup zone I gave you guys yesterday still hasn't been tapped. That's that 174. Okay, so watch that area. Yeah, it's not great. I'm a little bit sad. Okay, a little bit sad about this current situation. We do have a 4-hour reversal.
I've been sitting in that thing forever and just watching the numbers go down, 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 going, oh, it's coming for it. My stop is at like 170.
Those Wyckoff traders. Won't they look at this and be like, oh, it's the spring? Won't they do that?
I hope so. I'd really
Do
like
they
to
say
see
it in
that.
that voice? I don't know. Do they use that voice? I don't know.
We'll ask the _𝗏𝗏. That's his
The
deal.
spring. Okay, so maybe it's the spring, guys. Okay, so Wyckoff guys out there, that could have been a stop hunt. Okay, that's hopium. That's literal hopium. So use the wick low, obviously 178, and you can use 1835. Okay, 178, 1835. The spring. Okay, and who wanted Pendle? I got Pendle, and I've got. No, I don't have Pendle. Okay, let's just finish Ondo quickly. So, guys, my concern with Ondo, obviously, I love Ondo. I think fundamentally it's a banger, RWA, it's the whole story. I love Ondo. BlackRock loves it too. But in terms of what can happen next, it's a difficult one for me. So, for me, track this trend. You can see I've got this rising trend in play at the moment. What I don't like is this 12-hour is still pointing down, looking ugly. And I even wrote you, could still dip price hard, okay? And in that voice, and there it goes, looking for a little bit lower there on Ondo. And my concern is that, it might only be a short-term bounce at this 935 region. So what I want you guys to do is just find some confluence at that 50-day MA as well, because you need a backup level. And look at that little banger over there. Okay, we just want to highlight this. And that is 0.888. Okay, that's your 50-day MA, 786 and trend. How many times have you heard me say that? 786 and trend, that's often a banger. 50-day MA, horizontal tie-in for you guys as well. So that region makes a lot of sense to me. 88, call it 888 and 935. Those are the big ones for me on Ondo. Okay, are we still in layer long? I'm still holding that layer long. I'll get Dave to update his trade, but I am still sitting in layer at the moment. Then in terms of Pendle, I only closed half yesterday, as you guys know, and this thing is still, I'm trading this one on Blowfin, and it is turning green again. Okay, so that is nice to see, but in terms of the chart in front of me, this is resistance for Pendle right now, 407. Is a resistance zone, so no changes yet for me. If Pendle drops lower, I'm going to buy more, or if it rips through those all-time highs, or not all-time highs, if it rips through those highs, I'm going to then buy some more. Okay, so right now, no move for me on Pendle. I'm just leaving this trade. It's $23,000 long at the moment. No changes for me. Okay, I've taken some out, and Steve says sell in May. Invalidated. Steve, I don't know, bro. Have you seen the Bitcoin chart? Have you seen that 93? Do you want me to show you again? Let's just look here, bro. That 93 is not a good vibe, okay? Look at this. It is possible, but won't the biggest slap in the face, Dave, don't you agree? Do you track the Bitcoin price regularly?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. So is the biggest slap in the face, pump into all-time high, then dump us to 93K? Do you think that's...
It would be.
Yeah. It's like an old dead fish slapping you.
It would be.
It just feels like that. Okay, so yeah, what are your thoughts? Where are you, and where's your head in the market right now? What are you thinking is going on here? Just keen to hear, an outside perspective.
Yeah, very much. I try to keep away from it, to be honest. Because I like trading with the bots, I try to keep away from any estimating what the market's going to do, because otherwise I just go back to where I was, mate. So, but I kind of feel the same as what you're saying. But fantastic show. Enjoyed every minute of it. I will be signing up for Chart Hackers so that I will know next time what's going to happen.
Dude, come into Chart Hackers. Okay. Dave, it's lovely talking to you. Good to have you here. Okay, so guys, yeah, look, I'm back tomorrow. Friday, I'm bringing DJ and Dave. We're going to update some of those trades. We'll update Leia. He'll talk through his spell short. I'm sure he's going to bring some bangers again for us. If the market runs into tomorrow, we're going to be looking for shorts again. And if it dumps some more, well, guys, it's what a pleasure. We're going to have tons of longs coming for you guys. Creason says take longs from here. Look, anything's possible, bro. Short-term reversals are on. We just don't know. Those higher time frames could be a bit of a problem. Okay, so guys, I'm back tomorrow. Just be safe, okay? You can see short-term bounce, maybe more downside later. It's difficult out there. Okay, guys, catch you later.